All praise to the Creator and nobody else. Peace and love, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the Biden report. But anyhow, on another serious note, people been having dreams. I had a dream. I shared that dream with y'all. That we're gonna be free soon. My wife had a dream. And of course the dream was that she was outside. She looked up to the left at an angle. And in her dream, she saw the Ring of Fire eclipse. Then the scene switched. She was right near the house, obviously. Like she just stepped right inside the house. The scene switched. That she was actually in the bed with me. But prior to that, there was fire around her, but she was not touched. She was not getting burnt. She was not engulfed in the flame. So in other words, the Creator was protecting her. And then the dream switched again. And she was in the bed with me. And the lights turned into fire, like lights in your house. And we looked at each other and said, we both know what that means. The spirit has left and evil is coming. Well, she looks out the window, most likely peeks out the window in her dream. And she's seen people on fire. Not everybody was on fire, but there's a lot of folks engulfed in flames, on fire, burning up. I've been following, of course, I'm pretty sure many of you have been watching, that they tell the Rain of Fire is supposed to happen tomorrow. Dabu 777 I spoke about that 2 days in a row, yesterday and the day before. And now people are having these dreams. That one girl said that you were caught outside, you had no chance of living. These things were eating people up. People having dreams. Now they talking about they're going to have the 7-day sermon, and number 7 is actually supposed to mean new beginnings, but it's actually really not a good number. I found that out. There's a lot of things that hint to it that it's not exactly a good number. But let's head right to it. The sum of the 7 means that these are people who make rules over the world, not lawful rules, fucked up rules. You know, the Illuminati, Freemason, Jesuits, the you might as well call them New Age KKK, because that's what they are. The Catholic Church, the Gnostics, Bilderberg, Rothschild family, and many more groups are coming together to make decisions for humanity. Retarded ass Biden had the nerve to say he was going to cut emissions, from your breathing emissions, the stuff that comes out of your breath when you breathe. He wants to cut that down by 50%. News reporter said that is a very huge and bold statement. Oh, the only way you do that is if you just stop all the cars, most of the cars. Or you can do it the sucker way that they've been wanting to do it. It's called population control. Looks like the devil's trying to make his last move, but the head devil's coming. They in for a rude surprise. They're gonna get more evil. People gonna get eviler. Which means the 3 days of darkness are coming, which means evil things are coming on the earth from under the ground and above the ground. Stay inside for a little while. Just for a little while. Reports of the sky quaking like earthquakes have been going around too. Something's up. Something's definitely up. Cover your windows with plastic. Cover all your windows. All around the world looking kind of fishy, suspect, ain't it? Holes, sinkholes coming all over the place, big ones too. Y'all gonna have to tell the truth that we are the chosen people. We are the Creator's children. Y'all gonna be forced to give what's rightfully ours by force. Y'all not gonna have a choice in this matter. Demons are coming for you. Give us back what's ours.
Very interesting report that I just want to throw out there to you guys and let you decide the information. But basically, a military source, which is a private online source for military capabilities of the world's nation states. The site is known as Daigle. And if you've listened to me for years and you're signed up on Restricted Republic, then you're already well aware of what I might be hinting at. But Daigle, this military source, is saying that hundreds of millions of people here in the United States of America are going to die. Hundreds of millions of people here in the United States of America are going to die by the year 2025. And I've got information that I want to share with you that's kind of adding to that. But before I do, I want to just remind you, get on over to Restricted Republic. Like I said, I share a lot of inside information about things that are going on. I've talked about Dago before on there, but check it out at restrictedrepublic.com. I've got so many videos on there, and this is the place I am going to be when everything gets shut down. So sign up now, and I'll go ahead and bring back up a Freedom coupon that we had a while back, but you can get 24 months for $5 per month. Please use the code FREEDOM to get that, but get to restrictedrepublic.com. But anyhow, Daigle is the organization that I've talked about for some time. But the reason that I want to bring it back up is because we're constantly hearing all of this talk about climate chaos. And now with all these COVID restrictions kind of lifting up a little bit, or easing a little bit in some states, if you will, we are getting warnings, dire warnings from the we are getting warnings, dire warnings, from the IEA saying basically, oh, we can't go back to normal lifestyle. People are going back to work and walking around in some states, and because of that, we're having these massive increases in our carbon, and suddenly the world's going to explode and die. These are the kinds of warnings that we're getting. And of course, Biden also issued a statement there saying that he was going to, well, basically cut carbon emissions by 50%. These are pretty ambitious goals. if you will, but I think it all could be tied in some way, shape, or form. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let's go first to this article here, and this is on CNBC. Now, this was back in April, but late April, but I want to bring it back up. But it's IEA issues dire warning on carbon's emissions. Says that COVID recovery is anything but sustainable. It goes on to say that this is a dire warning that the economic recovery from the COVID crisis is currently anything but sustainable for our climate. The report comes at the time when policymakers are under pressure to deliver promises of, as part of the Paris Climate Accords, which Trump got out of and Biden re-signed us into, but Joe Biden Accords, which Trump got out of and Biden re-signed us into, but Joe Biden held that virtual summit there on the climate emergencies, which he basically has that ambitious goal, and the ambitious goal is cut carbon emissions by 50%. But basically, this warning is saying that we can't go back to normal lifestyle because our carbon emissions, everything's going up, and it's going to close down the climate, and the world's going to die in the whole 9 yards. We've been hearing that the world's going to die from climate catastrophe, I don't know, for 100 years.
Now, see, they didn't get what they want because folks won't take what they want you to do. Majority, a lot of average and indigenous people are not taking it. We're refusing it. We won't even go to a hospital. In fact, we're getting ready for war in case they try it. So now they get mad, so they're gonna try to say climate now. For an excuse to try to make sure that we don't go back to normal, which we aren't gonna go back to it anyway. But they basically trying to push their agenda. You know what their agenda is. You know what they want you to do, and you better not do it. Then you got communities where they're posting stuff on your windows, and people of average indigenous communities are ripping it up and throwing it right in the trash. And of course, you got folks who are running to the main office, their workers, and saying they ripping the papers up, they throw in the trash. They don't pass 4 or 5 notices out, and they all end up in the trash. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to do what they want them to do. So they get mad. So what they do, they gonna come to your house with sniffing dogs talking about, see if you got bed bugs. The funny thing is, bed bugs, they're not in your kitchen. They go to beds. Bed bugs are in the bedroom. So why they got dogs sniffing all around grown folks' houses, right? And they show up with a cop, with a gun, so that they can sniff in your house. Nah, they don't want bed bugs. They trying to see if you got any type of drugs in there. So since you don't want to do what they want you to do, now they want to try to have a reason to lock you up. They playing a dirty game.
Now, like literally, but either way, it's this kind of tension and stress and chaos that I think is literally adding to our bodies, and it's this kind of stuff that I warned about. I said they're going to scream climate chaos, they're going to scream climate emergency, and they're going to start using COVID-style restrictions to handle climate change agendas. And Biden has already said that that's something that he wants to do. And climate change agendas. And Biden has already said that that's something that he wants to do. And here we are. We have dire warnings and dire predictions. In other words, in order to save the planet, we should all lock ourselves in our homes. I don't know, maybe so many days a week or so many times a month. I don't know. But it seems that these policies are here to stay. Okay, let me add a little bit more before I expand, or let me just expand a little bit. If the policies like lockdown stay, right, it has been proven to mentally not only mess with our heads, but mess with our stress levels, and our stress levels increase because we're locked inside our homes, and thereby it can cause a whole slew of health issues on the body. Just keep that in the back of your head. But here's the other thing that I want to bring back up is back in April, Biden unveiled a sweeping climate goal and plans to meet it even if Congress won't. And I don't know if he plans to do that through executive action, through under the door, through forcing businesses to do certain stuff we don't really know yet. But it's the goal of the White House. He insists that the U.S. can meet it even if Congress doesn't, or Congress rejects it. But basically, Joe Biden pledged, and this is back in April, to slash U.S. emissions of greenhouse gases in at least half. By 2030. This is really huge and ambitious, right? Really huge. And here we are in June, okay? But anyway, really ambitious motivation there. But it will require, it says, an ambitious target that will require retooling the world's largest economy. In an ambitious target that will require retooling the world's largest economy.
So they want enough folks to do what they want them to do so they can go, you know what I'm saying, all chipped up and get the chip economy, digital economy, Draco, demon race, reptilian demon race economy. Just call it what it is. That's what they want. Because Biden's a damn reptilian Draco ugly ass motherfucker himself. They not human, y'all.
In an effort to put the U.S. at the forefront
These
of the
people that you think are in charge are not human.
Wants to be number one in handling climate change.
They're monsters.
He actually did campaign on this, and
demons.
It seems like he's following through on this particular promise, but very ambitiously and radically. And keep in mind, in my opinion, if he starts pushing stuff like this would collapse our economy more than, I think, millions. Tens of millions of people would be hit by the economic devastation on top of all the stress that we have with regard to COVID-19 attention.
And I suggest you white folks better not take that. Y'all better fight your oppressors, and your oppressors is not the so-called black man. So don't try it. Y'all KKK members, you might as well stop hating us, because your government hates you more than you could ever hate us. They want you. They want your soul. And they trying to come for it by any means necessary, white people. Y'all better wake up too.
On our bodies. Now millions of more people being put out of work because of climate ambitions. It's like one crisis on top of another crisis. How much can the American people handle? And I'm going to get into the Danko forecast after that, but imagine. And he's already starting to make move on these freaking ambitions. But what would something like that look like? How would that ambitious goal that Biden talked about, what would it look like? Well, dailymail.co.uk actually put something out on what they thought it could look like. Right here it is. How Biden's climate plan could limit you to eat one burger a month. It could cost you $3.5 a year per person in taxes and force you to spend $55,000 on an electric car and crush American jobs. Now, obviously, they're not saying this has been passed or went through. They're saying this could be an ambitious goal or an example of what Joe Biden could do in order to get you to a 50% cut, right? But it goes on. Joe Biden announced the goal to cut emissions, which I just showed you. He vowed the plan, which would set the U.S. on a path of zero emissions economy by no later than 2050, right? And he claims it would boost jobs and the economy. No, it wouldn't. It crushes jobs and crushes the economy. But he has yet jobs and the economy. No, it wouldn't. It crushes jobs and crushes the economy. But he has yet to release any firm details on exactly how he's going to do that. There we go.
I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority. Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. I have some absolutely amazing things to share with you today. I mean, by the end of this video, if your mind is not blown, I don't know what it's going to take. If you're getting ready to witness information that has been hidden from, at least not taught to us, it's not hidden because I was able to prove what I believed I was seeing. Now, sister in Christ.
Messing up with that name already. Let's go a little forward. If you don't know what this is, This here is a demonic ceremony, an Egyptian demonic ceremony. Y'all know what's going on. That's what you call going for the gusto.
And here, I think this is one of the images. She actually sent me an image similar to this. And a lot of the truth is in this image. See the bird and the wings and what looks like a burning bush?
The demons, the jinn,
That'll make a whole lot more sense.
the evil ones, the devil, sacrificing them to the devil jinn
Sinus
in the
now
spaceship.
to remove the brains. Well, I started doing some research, and this is how it unfolded in the exact order of this is how what I found unfolded. Okay, what you're looking at is a bony structure, a spongy bony structure that is at the back of the sinuses, okay? If you go straight up your nose into your forehead, you will find supposedly this, okay? And I want you to notice a few things. I want you to notice the shape of this. It looks like a cross here with wings or either fabric hanging down like a veil. And let's take notice as to what they named this top part right here. The Krista Galley. You know, a galley is like the galley on a boat where everybody hangs out, or the galley, like the gallery where all your photos are at. Okay? And what do you think Krista is related to? I'll give you a guess. Huh? Okay. Let's look at this, but then let's keep this in mind, and let's. This is another kind of an image of it. Not a very clear one, but anyways, here's another cross section of it, and you can see the Krista Galley here. You can see the arms outspread here.
That's where you live. Andy Banks here.
What looks like almost like a body here. Okay. But this is the nasal cavity as it goes up through your nasals into your sinuses, all the way up to this bone here that is a spongy type bone on the back side of the forehead, which is very, very hard. But this area is not very, very hard. And when they would do these tests, that you know what I'm talking about, they stick the test thing all the way up through here, all the way up here, and hit this area right in here.
The reset button to mess you up.
This is gonna blow your mind if it ain't already. Okay, let's back up a second. Look at what they're calling some of this stuff, okay? The lesser wing, the greater wing, okay? The orbital fascia, the orbital floor. Now, this might not make much sense yet, although the wing thing probably does a little bit. But the orbital is going to come back into play in this video a little bit later. Okay? Very much so. Here's kind of a side view. And up in here, of course, is where we're talking about.